How can you not expect me to want to respond or react to the controversy on the news of what just happened yesterday evening with Conor McGregor? Now, for those of you who don't know, and I think everybody knows because it's been trending for the last God knows how many hours, Conor McGregor put out a tweet on his Twitter account saying he's decided to retire young, thanks for the cheese, and then that was it. Now, when I saw that, I thought the whole thing was a hoax. I honestly thought that the thing was a hoax. And obviously, these are the main points of what people are saying. I thought it was a hoax at first. Then apparently his coach, John Kavanagh, put out a tweet saying it's fun while it lasted. Again, a part of me that's very cynical said, well, maybe he's part of the gag. Then it started coming out more and more that no, there's some seriousness to this. Apparently, according to Submission Radio, if you've ever listened to them, follow them on Twitter, someone had spoken to one of his family members and said, no, there is actually something behind this. And then Luke Thomas reported on this and said, no, there might be something behind this too. Lots of people are divided about this. Is it a hoax? Is it a prank? Is Kavanagh in on the gag? Is it some kind of like little angle they're working? And then on Friday, are they going to like surprise us all with some kind of thing? Was his Twitter account hacked? Everybody is thinking, what on earth is this about? But then when you look into the rest of the details, some people think that this is actually serious. And I'm starting to think that it could be serious because you have to take into account what happened on the weekend when McGregor was at a fight in Ireland and Cavallo, a fighter, died after the fight due to some injuries, I believe. And I know that he had spoken about that a little bit to local media, and then he didn't want to talk about it anymore. And I can imagine that potentially played a factor in why he sent out this tweet. You see something like that and you're around when something like that happens in a promotion, SBG, that you have, were a part of and are still a part of in a way, and you see that happen, I can imagine that kind of just making you say, well, I've had my fill. He's made all this money on pay-per-view. He in a weird way, I can't think of... He's just done this. He's made the featherweight division very relevant in terms of pay-per-views and money and interest. They had the world-class fighters, now they have the star, and everybody, the fights are so much more compelling because you want to know who's going to get to Conor McGregor. He set some pay-per-view records. I believe numbers have shown that he's a bigger draw than Ronda Rousey. He's really has become a difference maker. A very, very special talent in MMA and a special attraction. And you wonder, after that run, that short burst, and sometimes the short bursts are the best, obviously not in the sex life realm, but you do think, well, maybe he's just had his fill and he wanted to bow out. What else could be behind it? Do you think it's an attempt at a power play with the UFC? Is there some issue over a contract? Is this tweet a way of gaining leverage so he gets more money? Because we now know with the Reebok sponsors, fighters don't earn as much. And there was a rumour going around, goodness me, my greasy face. There was a rumour going around that apparently there was an issue with him and Reebok in the UFC around the time of the Aldo fight. So could that be a part of it? Who knows? Is there some kind of falling out with the UFC? Possibly. And now what further reinforces that there's actually something really behind this is the fact that he's now been pulled from UFC 200. So now that definitely adds to the authenticity that something is going on. And this may not be a hoax. I can't imagine the UFC going that far with a work or an angle, if you know what I mean. And I know it's not pro wrestling, but they're not above utilising an angle or anything to kind of get publicity. They're not above doing that. But that they've pulled him from a show knowing that people who are, making travel arrangements and paying for tickets, knowing that they've done this, that tells me again that there is something very authentic going on behind the scenes. And it's just this great mystery. It's this journey unto mystery, if you will. It's like, what happened? What on earth really happened? One theory that my friend put out was, do you reckon it's got to do with the steroid testing? I mean, you never know. Chris McGregor, credit to you, my friend. You never know, and I wouldn't rule anything out right now. But what a strange and bizarre twist of events that have just taken place. I mean, I'm going to be by my phone, and I've got to go to work in a little bit, but I'm going to be by my phone just constantly checking the Twitter to see what's happened. What can he do? If he really is going from MMA for good, what does he do? Does he do some acting? Has he saved his money? Which, you know how that man loves to spend money. Has he saved his money? Is he got other avenues? Obviously, he can do training and have a gym, and that's a steady income. Obviously, not the one that he can have because he seems to live beyond his means. Could he go into his own promotional stuff? Because I've heard that was a rumour. Is he going to go basically the Floyd Mayweather route? And that's what another person said to me. Is he going to go the Floyd Mayweather route? God, I'm so Americanized. Go the Floyd Mayweather route and kind of come out of retirement and do a fight once a year. What is going on? I really don't know, but it's very, very, very fascinating. I don't know. See what I mean? This is so strange. I'm actually at a loss for words, which I can't fucking believe. What do people think about this situation? What do you think's really going on? We now know on surface value that there's a bit more authenticity to this. So what do you think's going on? Is it a power play? Do you reckon the events of the last weekend with the fighter dying, do you think all of that played a role? Or is there something else that we are completely missing that is so outside of the box that we're not touching on? I want to know what people think. My feelings are, if Conor has retired, it's one of those... It'll be a very fascinating thing to look back on. One of those short but very effective runs in MMA that really was a difference maker. I don't know. I know a lot of the fighters think that this is just a plea for attention. And in a way it probably is, because you wouldn't put it out on Twitter if it was not. But what on earth... I mean, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I know apparently he was going to fight... Well, there was a rumour he was going to fight George St. Pierre at UFC 200 before. And I don't know. You never know. Anyways, guys, I've got to go. Hit that subscribe button. Doorbell's ringing. I better get that. And I'll see you soon. Bye.